Well, I think we might be able to make a very short video with movies from the Revere 85 projector. I found one film. That is the Triax black and white regular 8 that I showed in my other video. I have no idea, it's poor quality, but it's the only one out of this bunch that I pulled back out of the shed again this morning to look through. And all this is Super 8. Everything in here, I looked through it all. It's all Super 8. So I'm going to try to project this. But before I do, I want to clean the film gate and remove what they call the shoe in here. And I'm going to try to videotape that so I can show you how to clean, how it's done and so forth. Now I re-looked on the oiling sequence, and this is an oil hole, which I did put oil in. I just overlooked it because it didn't have these little rings in there like the other ones do. But this one, I got the most powerful magnifying glass I can find, which is this little guy here. And it looks like that says oil. It's got a hole in the middle of the slot. But nowhere in the book does it say that, but it ain't going to hurt. I did put some oil in there. But I'll tell you, this has gotten real quiet after doing the second oiling. So that's a good sign. So what I'm going to do now, set up a little tripod here. Got to practice what I preach when I talk about tripods. And I want to clean this film gate here because it's quite dirty. And I'm going to probably use some white cotton underwear. Anyways, I'm going to clean this out. I'm not sure what to use. I could probably use alcohol. I'm not sure if I have any. Rubbing alcohol is the only thing, but I might be able to use some contact cleaner and clean it. So we're going to remove the lens to do that, and I'll be right back with you and 2 shakes of a goat tail. Now, if you see the lever here, this pushes the film gate out of the way, and you just pick up this piece here, and there's the shoe. And as you can see, or maybe not, it's quite dirty. I'm moving it around in the magnifying glass. I don't know if you can see it because my eyesight don't permit me to think that's in view there. Anyways, it's quite dirty, and it looks like quite a bit of heat got on it. Now the film gate isn't very big. You can see how small that is. That's the size of the frame of the film. And this little slot up here is where the claw goes that moves it across the film gate. So we're going to commence to clean that now. Alright, what I want to do here is to move this out of the way. I got to clean this, but we're going to try to clean the film gate first. And I've got video head cleaner, which I've had for my in-camera, usually I'm not, that I've had for many years. And this is a clean cotton cloth, and I'm going to commence to clean this. To put this on so I don't knock it over. Don't seem to get the black stuff off. I think it's just heat. If you don't clean this, it will scratch the film, as well as giving you fuzzy edges. You won't have a clear picture. careful and I don't get the screwdriver down through the cloth. I'm very careful, we don't want to scratch the thing. We got plenty of cloth between the screwdriver blade and the... Alright, I'm going to use this thing here. And I've got this nail brush here that you use to clean your fingernails when you're working. Don't want to use a wire brush on this to try to clean it off, and I don't know if this will do it. But it's a safer way to do things. Now, I'll see if I can gently pick out the dirt over at the edges over here, very, very carefully, not to scratch this film gate. Never gonna get it perfect. It is pretty old, and you know, and I'm using this stuff here and it evaporates very quickly. That looks pretty clean. That looks pretty clean. Now, what I got to do here is I got to take and clean the projector part, and I got to get a little wooden stick, like a popsicle stick or something, and wrap the cloth around it and try to clean inside there. The instructions don't say any more about disassembling the rest of it, and the screws on this thing, the slots are super thin. None of my screwdrivers will fit in those slots, and I got some small screwdrivers like this here, but the blade is too thick to go into these screws here, and I'll show you. Now, there are some screws here and here, but they're really small, and I don't want to, the book don't say anything about that, but I can't get my screwdriver in that. I have a set of precision screwdrivers, but the blades are so narrow that they'll fit in there, but they're not wide enough, and they'll just bend them all up. So I'm not going to attempt to take that out. Like I say, the book does not tell you that. The book just tells you to take this out and clean it. So I'm going to clean the film gate in here, and I wished I could get much closer, but I can't with this camera. I'm going to try to do a digital zoom for you, but I doubt, in the viewfinder it looks pretty clear. This is the area here where I want to get at it, because you see how that opens up? Okay. And the shoe that I just pulled out of there and cleaned goes back in there, but before I do that I want to clean that out as best I can. And then I'll try to clean up the sprockets and everything, and then we're ready to project some film. Alright, I pulled the lens out so we can clean this properly. I got a tongue depressor here. I got this from Dr. Flatnose. So let's see if we can do this here now. Alright. We're going to get some more of this alcohol stuff, and we put it on the stick like this. Get down in there. I'll tell you, years ago I used to be able to work on this stuff, never mind reading glasses. I used to do it all. I had excellent eyesight when I was younger. Makes it so frustrating trying to work on things that you know you can do, but not able to do it right because you can't damn see the side of a barn. Let's see. Which way did that come out now? That went this way. Okay. Okay. And we close that down. And all right. I still don't know what this is down here. This little thing that opens up. It does not tell you what it is in the book. Now this screw keeps loosening here. But I can't get the blade in there to tighten it up. I can get my fingernail in there, so it just hangs down. See how floppy that is? I think it's a light. In other words, when the projection light is on, I think this is a light so you can see to thread it. But that's going to be a nuisance if I can't keep that closed. And what I'm going to do is I want to thread this thing out here and bring it inside the shed and project it. All right, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. We get the supply reel out. And this is going to be the very first time I ever run this projector with film. You got to watch this part here because you can't put it on this way. It's got to go. This got to go inward. Otherwise, it just won't work. Okay. That's. I guess that is a 300-foot reel. Okay, now the problem is the camera angle I got. I'm left-handed, and I'm going to be either blocking the camera, trying to work with my left hand, or I can't do it on video. So. Now there's no leader on this. This is just a film I had in the shed, in the photo closet, I should say. Okay. Well, this is going to be awkward for me to thread this. I'm going to have to relocate you so I can get my body and arms in there to work. I'm too far away from my glasses to work. Alright. Get it up. Alright, we got to let about 15 inches of film out. Normally you'd have leader on this. I'm going to have to stand up. I'm trying to do it sitting down to save my back here. Okay. Now, you got to have a loop on the top and you got to have a loop on the bottom. Open the gate here. Always open the gate when you're threading these things. I always like a little longer loop. I've seen some guys that run the loops way down here. That's wrong. That's wrong. You need a loop. You don't want a loop this big, okay? That's too much. There's no, some projectors have a little guide they embossed or painted on the body of the projector to tell you where the loop is, but I always make my loops a little bit larger than what they call for. So that gives you a chance if you're right by the projector, if you got a bad spot in the film, you got a little bit of time, not much, to say, oops, I got to get over there and shut this off before it chews up my film. But if you have a tiny loop, you got no time. You got to have a little reaction time. So I would put it here. Now, if this was sound film, there wouldn't be a problem having a big loop here. But if you have a larger loop on the bottom, on a sound projector I'm talking about now, your sound is going to be out of step. So the loop has to be exact on the bottom of a sound movie projector. As I recall, and I could be wrong, 8mm, Super 8mm that has sound is 18 frames. I could be wrong on this, and I could stand to be corrected, is 18 frames down from the film gate. The same as the speed of Super 8. We're talking about Super 8 now. 16mm runs at 24 frames a second, and the sound pickup is 24 frames below the film gate. But I could be wrong on that. But I do know regular 8 runs at 16 frames a second, Super 8 runs at 18 frames a second, and 16 millimeter runs at 24 frames a second. Okay, let's get going on this now. Open that. No, close it. Open it rather. We bring it down over to here. We close that, but we just gently turn that. You want to close your film gate and gently, very gently, you can feel it locked in, okay? Turn this. See how that goes? I want to get you a close-up here. Okay, this is the knob you turn to make sure that everything's working. You rock it back and forth. Now, if you look at the upper loop here, and I don't know if you can see the lower loop is much longer than it needs to be. So we can bring that up. That loop is a little bit too long, but that's not going to hurt anything. You just back that up and you bring it up. Okay. All right. You see me rocking that? See that go down and up, down and up, down and up? See it? What that claw does is it pulls down the film and just a fraction of a second holds it there at the screen, at the aperture gate, so that the image can be seen. And then it jerks it down past. And that's the purpose of the shutter. The shutter blanks out the portion where the film is actually moving in this gate. And when it gets to that part where it's paused for a fraction of a second, the shutter between the blades, the lamp goes straight through. All right, we're threaded properly. Now, I want to stop in a minute. This video is getting way too long. Okay. I had to remember, I haven't handled a projector now, and I'm going to say 1978. So, all right, but here's where we got to go, down here. You see this little opening down here? And I don't know if the camera's... There's a little opening right here. All right, you just stick that in there. All right, so now we're ready to project. I'm going backwards now. This is forward. Okay. I have no idea what's on this film. It was Tri-X. Tri-X film is black and white, as you probably know. I don't even know if they make it anymore. It's as I recall, I think the ASA was around 800. Don't quote me on it. Been too many years. Okay, so the clutch is disengaged. We're in the forward position. We're in the forward position right here. We leave the clutch out, disengaged. We'll bring this into the shed. We'll plug it in. We'll put the lens back in, of course, and we should be ready to go. Now, I think the sprockets are okay on this one, and unless the projector's really messed up, or with my bad eyesight I didn't thread them good, we should be all right. But we're in that, and these are down, so that holds them on there. It holds the film up against the thing, because the only time you release these is when you're threading the projector. Okay, I think we're ready. All right, I'm going to turn the lights off. I'm in the shed here, and I'm going to use my flashlight here. This is where the projector's going to be, right about here. It's going to be a small picture, and this is the first time now, so let's hope that everything don't spill all over and break. But all right, we're going to turn the motor on. We're going to put the lights out. It sounds a lot quieter. We're going to put the projection lamp on. First we're going to put it in gear. All right, let's see. I don't even know. I got to get the framing. Now, where's the framing? Here it is. All right, there's the framing. I don't even know. Can you folks see that? I don't think you'll be able to see that very good. It looks like the camera's all out of focus here. I can see it perfectly here. Let me put the lights on in the shed. Maybe you can see it better. The camera's probably overexposing. That's my old workshop. I don't know if you can see that. I got to get a magnifying glass. I got to hold that. I can't see. I got so much junk in this shed. I can't get my body over here. I don't know what happened there. What is going on with this thing? I found a problem. It's not in here. This is developing heat in both of these because this thing just fits in there. It's so loose. So loose. It's not even, it's just laying in there. I might be able to, yeah, there's little slots in here. But there again, it takes a super fine screwdriver. I don't know if you can see that. I doubt it, but I'm going to try to magnify it. They look like little screws, don't they? Well, you stick a screwdriver in there and you tighten that up. And then this plug will fit in tighter. So you don't want to squeeze this. You'd ruin the plug. So you want to tighten that up. And I'm going to do that with a screwdriver right now. Well, I don't know about digital zoom here. I can't get close with this camera. I opened this up. I found a screwdriver I can stick in there. Now this thing fits real tight. So, I don't want to put the film back in. But I'm 99% sure that should be okay now. I'm going to go take it in the shed and give it a try, but I'm not going to do it on camera. And see if it dies out. There's no film in it, but that shouldn't matter. She's in gear. And I'll even put a load on it by holding this thing to simulate a film load. Nope. Wiggle this. Before it was dying out on me, but now she's nice and tight. Of course, the motor still dies down when you kick in the. Now we got to let these cool down. In other words, when you shut them off, let the fan cool the bulb. Just don't put it away. Just shut everything down. And the faster this motor goes, the better this cooling will be. So you don't want to run this thing below the rated speed for any length of time. Okay, so we'll let it cool off. So again, thank you for watching. And we'll be doing some more. If I can get some more 8mm films, we'll project it. As a matter of fact, I might even project that one again if I can get the lighting right, because I don't have good luck with projecting and photographing off of movie screens. They get washed out. You know, they really got to be done professionally. You can't really do them any other way. But for those film enthusiasts out there, I want to thank you for watching. There'll be more maybe in the future. You never know with me. Thanks for watching.